Well, good morning, everyone. It is Monday. It is the first Monday of March, and I have Randy Rodriguez in the car with me, all dressed up from head to toe. Randy Rodriguez Real Estate Group. So, if anybody has a question as to who he is, or what your name is, or what you're representing, it's on your shirt and your hat, man. It's
Yes.
nice to see you. Thanks for coming into Pickup Lines. This is Pickup Lines, presented by Gamez Law Firm and Integrity Roofing and Siding. We're inside the Lexus RZ 450E, once again, courtesy of North Park Lexus of San Antonio, North Park Lexus at Dominion. And yes, we'll talk a little real estate, realty here over the course of the next 20, 30 minutes or so, but there's a lot to get into. This man is much more than just a realtor, and we were talking about it before we came on the air, about how your roots. You grew up on the south side of town.
Correct.
The oldest of, you had a large family.
Large family. Oldest of 6 kids. Born and raised in the south side of San Antonio. Graduated from McCollum High School. So if there's any McCollum alumni out there, shout out.
Cowboys, right?
Cowboys. McCollum Cowboys, yes. And, I wasn't always the best kid in school. Sorry, Mom and Dad. I wasn't always the best. I was always kind of getting in trouble in school and didn't know what I wanted in life. I didn't know what was going to come in life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just kind of winging it, right? Just going through the motions and
immaturity, like bad. I mean, is it hanging out with the wrong people, or a combination
Yes.
of both? Maybe
combination of both. Hanging out with the wrong people, skipping school, dropping out of school, going back to school. Parents.
Was this at McCollum?
McCollum, yes.
But you were a pretty good athlete, right? I mean,
I was a good athlete, yes, but I couldn't stay out of trouble. So that was the main thing. I had coaches and teachers and everybody telling me, hey, if you don't straighten up, you're not going to amount to anything. You're going to be in jail. You're going to be a loser. Things like that, and that really affects a young kid in your mind, right? You start to believe that kind of stuff when you're young. So then it's just kind of, you just start to believe that. You feel like that's all that's going to happen in your life. And, I couldn't get away from that trouble life. I was just there. My parents were really good, mom and dad. They were on top of me all the time, but I didn't want to hear it. You couldn't tell me anything. In one ear, out the other, out the door. And that's kind of where I was at in my childhood, or in immaturity in high school. Ended up going back, graduating, and that's when, around 19, 20 years old, I still didn't have a career. Went to college for a few years, just still really in and out of college. Didn't pay attention much, saying, I don't have to be here. I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
So it was kind of more of the same thing. And my girlfriend was telling me at the time, she's my wife now, but my girlfriend at the time was telling me, hey, you got to do something. You got to do something, right? So...
she was smart.
She was smart.
She was. So you guys were high school sweethearts.
Yeah, well, not high school sweethearts,
okay.
but we knew each other, and we didn't actually, till after high school.
Yeah, reconnected and everything.
Yes,
and the rest is history.
Correct. So, and that kind of leads me to early career, right? We had to do something.
Well, the interesting thing is, so you're coming out of McCollum. You said you dabbled in college a little bit.
Correct.
And but I guess that you kind of felt like you were lost.
Very lost.
And I guess the bottom line was, I know you're a realtor today, but realty was probably the furthest thing from your mind when you were turning 20 years old.
Correct. I never wanted to do anything involved in sales. And I'll get into real estate not really being a sales job to me later. But I never wanted to do anything in sales. I didn't want to knock on doors. I didn't want to call anybody. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to bother anybody that didn't want to do business with me. So we were trying to think, right? What would be good?
What could you do?
What could I do? So my wife suggested, get in the medical field. And I was like, no, I do not like needles or
I don't either.
Or anything that. So she's like, well, go for billing and coding. So I was like, okay, we looked up the salaries and things like that, right? $50,000, right? Okay, let's go. So we went, I went to Kaplan, got my license for billing and coding, and little did I know, $50,000 wasn't the entry job. It was more like $10 an hour.
Right, so. You'll get there eventually. I totally get it. Same thing in TV news. You can make 6, 7 figures in some cases if you work 30 or 40 years. But when you first start out, my first salary in TV was like $13,000. and like 30 years ago, and I thought I was rich. I thought I'd won the lottery.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, no, wait a minute. Uncle Sam takes what? How much? Oh, yeah. Anyway, enough about me. But I want to get back to your McCullum, like that late teen. You mentioned you were, your girlfriend or your current wife, you were dating everything. But was there an adult in your life, a teacher, a family member, somebody that kind of grabbed you and was like, shook some sense in you and was like,
It was
hey,
her.
Your girlfriend.
It was her. After high school, everything. She's the one that really knocked some sense into me.
Really?
And was kind of giving me an ultimatum. She was very mature for her age. More mature than any girl I had ever met. And that's kind of probably what attracted me to her. She was like my mom. And my parents, great parents. My dad was always on me about staying in school. But when it comes from your parents, it's kind of like, they're against me.
Right.
They don't want to hear it.
They don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly. So it kind of had to come from somebody other than my parents. And it kind of came to the point where she says, hey, you're going to do something with your life or I'm going to move on.
And you have a teenage daughter now. And I mean, is it kind of like coming back to you? Like, or does your daughter think, like, you know what you're talking about?
So, you know how teenagers are,
Yeah, I do.
right?
I have 3 of them. Yes, I do.
And our childhood's completely different, right?
Yeah.
Grew up oldest of 6 kids, didn't have much growing up. My mom, bless her heart, took care of all 6 of us. My dad was always working to support the family, so I had a lot of time to leave the house and things without my dad around and stuff like that. So it's a little different with the kids. We currently live in Cibolo, so my daughter attends Steele High School.
Very nice.
She's about to graduate.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Very good.
And so they're beyond spoiled, these kids.
But yeah, but I'm guessing part of your childhood, as great as your parents were, or as hardworking as they were, your mother made so many sacrifices and everything. You saw that and realized, I did not want that same thing for my kids.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. So I wanted them to grow up with opportunities that I didn't have. I wanted them to have everything that I wanted.
Yeah.
We always had everything we needed. We didn't necessarily have everything we wanted.
Right.
We always had everything we needed: food on the table, roof over our head, clothes on our back, things like that. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, sure, I wanted the brand new PlayStations and the brand new Xboxes, and that had to wait till income tax time and things like that.
Oh my gosh!
So,
yes. Yeah. And you're sharing with several other siblings, obviously.
Correct.
So
yes. And,
I get it. I get it.
So now I wanted them to just have a different experience growing up. I wanted them to have everything. If they wanted something, it's yes. If they wanted to go somewhere, it's yes. But I've created some monsters that way, and they're a bit spoiled, but I wouldn't change anything. I think that the opportunities they're gonna have, it's gonna be fantastic, and especially my 18-year-old daughter, she just finished her real estate classes.
Very nice.
She will be joining me in the business.
There you go.
I'll be taking her under my wing, and she's actually still in high school while she took her classes.
That's impressive.
She sacrificed 8 weekends. She's cheerleader, so after school she goes to her cheer events, she does her games, and then she studies for real estate, and she took her classes on Saturdays and Sundays. So she gave up 2 straight months of weekends from 8 a.m. to 5 o'clock, Saturday and Sunday, both days, and then hit school back on Monday.
That's a full, oh my gosh. That's incredible. And I got to admit, I wasn't even aware that a high school student could do that.
She can't test until she was 18, but she's 18.
Take all the classes.
But she can take all the classes. Yes.
Fantastic.
So we were able to do that, and now she'll take her national and state exam in a few weeks, get her license, officially licensed, and get her out and hit the ground running and teach her to sell some houses.
And she's already got a great teacher in the same house.
And somebody that she can trust, because in this business, you got to have a great mentor. If not, it's tough to just get out there and without somebody leading you in the right direction, somebody that's going to look out for your best interest, somebody that's trustworthy. If you don't have that in your corner, it's tough to make a living in this business.
I totally get it. All right. Well, welcome to those of you who are joining us just a few minutes late here. Brandy, I know Jonathan is on here and some others. This is Randy Rodriguez, the man who runs the Rodriguez Real Estate Group, talking. We're getting a little realty, but long before you were selling houses and properties and everything, you talked about how you got into the medical industry in terms of billing and coding. And I mean, it sounds like you did very well and kind of worked your way up.
Definitely. So, like I mentioned before, I didn't like needles. I didn't like blood, anything like that. I'm the type of person that I would go for a sports physical, and by the time you know it, there's smelling salt under my nose, right? Waking up from fainting from the injections.
I've done that twice. I
No,
totally relate,
it
man.
still happens to this day.
I
And I don't know why, Ernie. I don't. I mean, they're poking me.
don't either.
I'm fine, and they're telling me, sir, you're not fine. You're pale. You're white. You're sweating. You need to sit down. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I can get up. By the time you know it, somebody's handing me a Coca-Cola, drinking it, and putting some smelling salt under me, right?
Oh my gosh.
So I never wanted to get into any kind of needles, blood. So once I finished Kaplan College, I got offered an externship because I was part of the program. I got offered an externship from a wound care doctor. As soon as I saw wound care, I started thinking, I don't want anything to do with
Too
this.
much blood.
Too much blood,
Yeah.
wounds. So they told me, no, Randy, it's going to be in the back end. It's going to be in the back end.
Okay.
You're just going to be in the office. You're just going to be billing. You're just going to be helping with the coding. So the first 4 weeks, it was that. Oh, this is good. I can do this, right?
Yeah.
Paperwork. All of a sudden, we're short-staffed today. Hey, Randy, can you help me in the room?
Oh boy.
And
Oh,
I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm the type of person that once I get there to the job, I'm gonna do what anybody needs me to do to move the day along, right? No complaining, suck it up, and just do it. I mean, the first time I went in that room and I saw what I saw, I just walked right back out and I told the doctor, I can't do this. I can't do this. And she's like, Randy, you need to suck it up.
Suck it up.
I need you. I really need you. So I'm like, okay, right. Put the gloves back on. I'm in there helping with the procedure, and I mean, the needle is this big that is being inserted in that patient's foot, and I'm there, and the patient's looking at me, and the patient's telling the doctor, I think your nurse is gonna pass out.
Oh no.
And I'm there, and the doctor's looking at me with these evil eyes, like, you better get it together. And I'm there holding it, and I'm sweating. I'm pale. I'm white, and the patient's just kind of laughing at me, and you know, it gets the client's attention off what's going on.
Right, a distraction.
We start kind of having a conversation. It gets my mind off of it. Now I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I didn't faint. And that's when I kind of said, okay, that wasn't too bad, right? I can do this. So long story short, I'm still working in billing and coding. However, anytime that something happens, anytime that somebody calls in, the front desk calls in, problems in the lobby, anything, I would always, the doctor would tell me, hey, Randy, can you come out help today? Can you come help? Okay, cool. So that led to me being offered an actual position in the office. She says, I don't have anything right now except the front desk. So I'm saying, okay, it's either go back to job hunting or have a for sure income and just start in the front desk and answer phones and things like that. So, okay, cool. I did it. Worked my way up. I was the type that always showed up to work every day. I did what anybody asked of me. I did it, no questions asked. But I've always wanted to be in charge. I've always felt like I see some things going on that I can do differently. So, you know, I would give my input. The doctor would kind of warm up to my ideas, and you know, she saw how I was with the patients, especially with dealing with the patients. Yeah. The window patients, the front desk patients in the room. Yeah. I mean, I was always really friendly with them. They warmed up to me. They would just tell me their life stories. We talk about sports, especially sports. Every Monday I'd come in the office and we'd be giving fist bumps, Cowboys, right?
Until they lost in the playoffs.
Unfortunately, every Monday wasn't happy.
Not
right?
all of them
so,
were, no.
So yeah, so worked my way up, did everything I needed to do. 1 year later, I was offered leadership role as a team lead. Accepted it. Now I have a little bit more flexibility, right? I can do some things around here. Still was having to strap on gloves for you know, things happen, right? With the nurses, they have babies, things happen, so I got to sub in. By this time, I'm starting to become a little bit of a professional with the needle.
So you could deliver a baby if you had to.
I don't know about that far because the nurses had to almost put me.
Sedate you.
Yes, when my wife was having the kids.
I know that. I know that.
Yes.
So you were rocking and rolling, doing your thing.
Correct.
Your trajectory in the medical field seemed to be going up, but something was missing. And at what point did you kind of take a time out and say, all right, I got to make a change. I got to pivot. Something's not right.
Yes. So right here was about the 9th year in already. I had been offered the manager position, overseeing all 5 clinics. it got to the point where I was handling everything for the doctors. I would go meet with other doctors for them. Excuse me. You know, I needed to go help out in this department. I mean, I was literally everywhere in the whole department. The doctor started noticing how good I was with the patients. The patients, you know, a lot of times the patients get upset waiting in the waiting room for an hour. Now you're in the room for an hour. So it was always, Randy, can you go in there and talk to him? Randy, can you go talk to this patient? Can you go settle them down? Can you explain to them why we're collecting this amount? And it was always
like damage control. It sounds like
always the one that got them to understand, got them to calm down, make the payment, or just give us a few more minutes. We'll be right with you. And, you know, I was in there just having a good time with the patients, getting their mind off of the procedures, things like that. Nobody wants to be in the doctor's office, right? So the least I can do was not bring my attitude at the door or anything like that. Just make them feel happy and get their mind off of it, and just be friendly with them and interact with them. And it just became to where I felt like I had a real gift for interacting with people, for meeting people, strangers, things like that. I loved it. I love talking with everybody. So now I'm talking with my wife, and I said, hey, I believe I'm pretty capped out in this medical field. I mean, the only thing higher for me is to be a doctor, which, you know, going back to school for 10 years, 10 years to be a doctor, it goes back to my mindset of always wanting to own something. I always wanted to own something. I always wanted to leave something behind for my family, leave a legacy, leave a business for my kids to take over, something to that matter. So we were just thinking, like, what can we do? What can I do? I mean, I'm so comfortable at the doctor's office at this point, right? A career change would scare the heck out of me. Yeah. And so we just kind of put it away for a little while, and then it just was bothering me more and more. It just kept bothering me. Like, I want to do something, right? I can't have my own medical business unless if I'm running the show, I'm the actual doctor. Yeah. So we were just brainstorming, right? What can we do? What can we do? That's when my wife suggested real estate. I blew her off so quick. I said, I am not doing real estate. I'm like, I don't want to be knocking on people's doors. I don't want to be calling people. I don't want to be bugging people for business. That's not what I want to do. I do not want to be in sales. So we started thinking of some other stuff. Yeah. Okay, let's invest in real estate, right? Let's put some money in real estate. Let's do some rentals. Let's build some houses. Let's do something. Right. So that idea comes from my wife. She's watching HGTV all day, right? Saying that we can build a house in 30 minutes. With commercials like and everything, right? Under budget and all that. Oh, yeah. Everything. Oh, my gosh. So then I finally said, okay, you know what? I will give it a try for you. I'll give it a try. I'll give real estate a try. Went to Champion Real Estate School. Went there, got my license, joined a team, and they allowed me to hit the ground running. Right. I left the medical field. I talked to the doctors and told them, look, this is something that I wanted to do. They respected everything that I wanted to do, and you know, it wasn't changing because I was unhappy. It was just changing because I wanted something of my own. I wanted a business of my own. So I listened to my wife, like I always do, and very smart. And so went into real estate, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I absolutely hated it. My first month, I hated it. I was telling my wife, this is not what I wanted to do. I don't like this. This is too much stress. I am dealing with so much money of the clients. I mean, they are on me. They can sniff out how brand new I am. Yeah. I'm losing them to other clients. I'm out there showing them houses, and then they meet another realtor, and the realtor probably blowing me out of the water because I'm brand spanking new. Don't know what I'm doing, and now I'm getting really discouraged. At this point, I'm telling my wife, I want to go back to the medical field and answer phones. I'm okay with that. Yeah. This is not what I wanted to do.
I mean, you quit in your head several times.
I quit in my head.
I mean, I just read, you took 4 months?
4 months.
4 months to close your first transaction?
To close my first deal. 4 months. Now, I had some under contract before that, but I didn't know how to close them, Ernie. Yeah. I didn't know what is all involved in a real estate transaction. And it's more than getting somebody from start line to finish line. I mean, there is so many factors involved in that real estate process, and so many things that can happen for you to be experienced and know how to deal with these problems, know how to solve these problems. Yeah. But of course, I'd only seen a handful of, 1 or 2 contracts. I'd never made it to the end. Right. So it took me 4 months to close my first deal.
What was that feeling like when you did that?
It was amazing. I mean, I blasted it all over Instagram and Facebook and said, good morning to everybody. I closed my first real estate deal. I can do this. I can do this business.
Yes,
I'm here. I'm here. Right. So then I had a mishap, I guess. Right. So I had a situation where my client ended up losing an earnest money deposit based on a mistake that I made. And it was a mistake that I owned up to, right? It was something that resulted, the direct result of the loss of their money was a mistake that I made. Now, I did not have to refund any kind of money to them.
You weren't obligated to.
No, I'm not obligated. Everything that we sign, everything that we do protects us from that.
Right.
However, I felt like their loss, it was the direct result of my mistake. They leaned on me for that advice. I'm the real estate professional. They leaned on me, and the way I looked at it is I failed them. So I talked to my wife and I said, hey, you know, I don't want to be this kind of person. I don't want to go brush it off and say, hey, you know, it is what it is. Move forward, right? Take it on the chin, right? That's not how, it did not sit well with me. All I could think about at night was these people losing this earnest money. It just kept tearing me apart. I couldn't sleep. So me and my wife, and she trusts
I'm guessing it wasn't just a few bucks either.
It was not a few bucks, Ernie. It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad to write this check.
Yeah.
But me and my wife talked about it, and I told her, like, you know, I believe I belong in this business. I wanna move forward in this business, and I think the right thing to do is get these clients back their money. They were very upset with me. They were very, very upset. And so we ended up cutting that check back to them, and it hurt. It was almost half of our savings in there, right there. And you know,
oh my gosh,
not making a lot of money in real estate at this time. So my wife, and my wife's a big woman of faith, big woman of God. She just says, God will take care of us. Just do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Wow.
We ended up cutting this check back. Shake hands, right? Okay. About a week later, I'm kind of sad at this point, right? I'm like, oh, you know, bummed out, right?
I bet you were.
Bummed out. About a week later, same clients call me back. I see the phone ringing with this guy. Oh my God, did my check bounce? Did something happen?
No.
Right? So I answer the phone, and they're telling me, hey, Randy, how are you doing today? And I'm just like, I mean, my heart's beating a million miles an hour because I don't know what they're going to tell me. And they said, hey, you know, we went out and we talked to a few other agents. We talked to family members. We talked to our lenders. And everybody just said how we needed to give you another opportunity because they don't know anybody who would give you that amount of money back based on a mistake that they admitted to making, and just swallowed that pride and handed you this money. So our family members, our lenders, everybody just said that you must be a trustworthy guy and must keep your word for you to do that. And you had no obligation to do that. So we would like to move forward with you and give you another opportunity to help us purchase the house. So long story short, we moved forward. We closed the deal. They were happy. They gave me a great review. And
nice.
I believe at that point was kind of the turning point for me in the real estate industry. That showed me the type of agent that I wanted to be. I wanted to be different from everybody else. How do you separate yourself from 14,000 other real estate agents, right? I can't speak for them or what they do. I can only speak for what I do or what we're about or our message that we're trying to send. So that was kind of the turning point for me right there. This is the type of agent that I want to be. An agent that is always going to do the right thing, always going to put the client's needs before his own needs. Don't follow the money. Help the clients. Be friendly. Help them make an informed decision. Teach them about the market. You know, no pressure on buying, no anything like that. Just that was for me the whole turning point of my real estate career.
So just to make sure I have this right, so you essentially, you made a mistake, you owned it, and then you took half of your family savings account under no obligation, and you gave it back to these people just because you felt it was the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
That is insane and incredible and very honorable, by the way. But I just wonder, like, it's like an episode of What Would You Do, like with John Quinones. You know, you're put in that situation, and you'd like to think you would do the right thing, right? I think we all would like to think that we would do the honorable thing, but no, I mean, you didn't get any media or press for this. Nope, nobody knew you were doing this. You just did this on your own.
Not even my broker knew I was doing this.
Oh my gosh.
I did not bring it up to the broker. I did not want anybody to feel sorry for me. I felt like in this business, I mean, you're either going to make it or you don't, right? So you got to handle these situations like an adult by yourself. Nobody's going to hold your hand in this business. That's the way I feel. Now, I may be holding my daughter's hand because she's going to be with me. But other than that, I feel like nobody's going to hold your hand. I mean, yes, the mentors are going to teach you to do things, but at some point, you're going to be on your own. So I didn't want to go take it up the chain and ask for anybody to help me or nothing.
Yeah.
I swallowed it like a man. I took it on the chin, made it right for them. And real estate career really took off after that.
And your wife stuck with you too and everything.
And
God
she
bless
stuck
her.
with
God
me.
bless.
She authorized it, Ernie.
Happy spouse, happy house is what I like to say. So,
Yes.
well, if she's watching, I mean, that's kudos to her because that is super cool. We have a few more minutes here with Randy Rodriguez, and at the very end, he has a little special offer for those of you who are watching Pickup Lines today. Something that might put a few more dollars in your pocket if you're looking to buy or sell a home. So your career took off. I mean, I know the statistics. You multiplied year after year. You sold more,
Correct.
and you. So how many years now are you in?
5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
5 years. Okay. If you were to look at the real estate market, or I don't know if you could assign a letter grade to it right now, or in terms of buying a home versus selling a home. I know the economy's been all over the place and everything. How would you grade that?
I guess for me, it's about just educating the clients on the time to buy. Right? You see all these people throwing memes on Facebook that say the rate's going to be 26%, and the realtor's going to tell you now's the time to buy. Right? It kind of bothers me a little bit. So our job here at the Rodriguez Real Estate Group is we're going to make sure that you are ready to buy when you're ready to buy. When you're comfortable to buy, we're going to educate you on the pros and cons of waiting to buy, buying when the rates are high, buying when the rates are low. We are just going to be full on transparent with you and let you know pros and cons of waiting, pros and cons of buying, high rates, low rates, and just helping you be comfortable in the decision you make, right? Because if they're not happy at the end of the day, we're not happy. It bothers me too much to close a real estate deal with somebody iffy and upset and things like that. So here I train the agents to make it right. Anything that we do, we're going to do it with trust, transparency, respect. We're going to honor everything they want to do. If they don't want to do this, they're not, we're going to help them out.
And know that if you make a mistake or whatever, that you're going to own it.
Absolutely.
And I mean, because 100%. It's one thing, it's lip service or people say these things, but you've literally cut the check.
Correct.
The painful check years ago. How often do you go back to that day and that moment and wonder, what if you had just decided to sweep it away and move on and you did the opposite? And what might have happened?
Almost every day. I think about that. I still think about that. Me and my wife talk about it all the time. Because what if I would have given back? What if they would have given me bad reviews? What if this would have made me go back to the medical field? I mean, it was a real decision that I had to make right then and there, right? What kind of agent do I want to be? Do I want to be an agent that just doesn't care about the clients? Right? I'm not saying anybody else out there.
No.
It's just, I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be different. I wanted to make an impact on this real estate community. And the only way I knew how to do that is be the person that I was raised to be, and believe in myself and my characteristics and just always doing the right thing and just making sure we're not pushy or we're not going to be salesy, right? We are not in sales. We are in customer service. That is the whole thing. Me and my team, we do not consider ourselves in sales. To me, real estate is the least amount of sales job you can have. It is customer service. We are in the customer service business, and we are always going to treat you with respect.
Amen to that.
Do the right thing. And, like I said, Ernie, before, I encourage you, if you're looking to buy a house, sell a house, interview multiple realtors. I mean, just don't go based on the word of somebody, right? And I'm pretty confident after interviewing a few, throw me in the mix too as well. And I'm pretty confident that they'll come back around and they'll like what I have to say.
Very good. Well, if you do like what you're hearing, his website is RodriguezGroupTX.com. RodriguezGroupTX.com. Are your parents still around?
Yes. My parents are still around. My mom is sick right now, but we are all taking care of her. My youngest brother is 21 years old, so there's 6 of us, and we're all taking turns helping out my mom, doctor's appointments, things like that. But she is getting better every single day, so
nice.
Thank God for that. Praying for her every single day. She's very, very strong. I mean, I couldn't do what she was going through. I would have told the doctor I'm done because she's just been the biggest warrior I've ever seen, and it pains me and it kills me to see her in like this every day, but she's getting stronger every single day. So God has been on our side, and
that's great.
You know, and my dad's still
Under
working
the
hard.
Circumstances,
Still working hard.
Well, that's still working. What does he do?
Working hard. He is so he got hurt a while back, so he couldn't do his business as like carpentry, construction, things like that. But now he's kind of overseeing it, just supervising because he can't, you know, he's getting old already, and that's what he didn't want from me. He would always tell me, I don't want you to have to break your back like me.
Right, yeah. Well, it's cool that they've lived long enough to see you turn it around and have success, and now it's about to be a multi-generational thing. Your daughter's going to join the fold, and that's going to be super cool. All right, another minute or two here with Randy. Before we leave, you have something that you would like to announce in terms of a special offer or call to action for people who are watching Pickup Lines today.
Yes, so if you go ahead and give me a call, you see my interview with Ernie here on Pickup Lines, just mention that you saw it, and you're looking to purchase a house. Our inspectors will go ahead and take care of that fee for you. They're a 5-star inspection company, so it's not we're not giving you any kind of the free service for it, and it's going to be free, right? So they're going to go ahead and take care of your inspection. Make sure you mention that you saw me on Pickup Lines, and our preferred lender will go ahead and kick you back $1,000 for your closing costs as well. So that's a $1,500 savings in your pocket. I know you might not think that it's tons of money, right, when you're forking over 10 grand or something in the closing process, but $1,500 is $1,500, and if you don't think that's a lot, Ernie, we'll go ahead and give them our cash app. They can send us $1,500.
Right? Yeah, sure, exactly. Yeah, no, it is definitely a lot. It's a cool deal that again, he didn't have to do that. He just offered to do it as part of coming on the show and everything here. So RodriguezGroupTX.com. Rodriguez Real Estate Group is and obviously you've got the swag and everything. So you're doing something right, man.
Yes,
you got your own swag and everything.
And then we'll be at the Taste of the Southside on April 13th and 14th. We'll have our tent out there. We're going to be doing some raffles out there. We're going to be giving away some free gear. Come and check us out and come support the community. Come support the Taste of the Southside. We'll be out there April 13th, April 14th. You'll see our big Real Estate Rodriguez tent with the same R on it, the same logo on it, just like that. You can't miss us.
Get you ready for Fiesta.
Yes.
And everything like that. And come meet Randy and learn more about what he and his daughter are about to be doing here and everything. So,
and my brother.
And your brother.
He's
so
joining
slowly but surely.
Yes.
All Rodriguez is taking over here. I'm inspired by what you've been able to do and coming from the South Side and going through that rough patch in your teens and everything, but you've turned it around, and it sounds like you're putting on a great example for your daughter and others and everything. So really happy for you, man.
Appreciate it, Ernie.
Appreciate you coming on today. Randy Rodriguez, one more time, the website, RodriguezGroupTX.com, and he is Rodriguez Real Estate Group. So, I'm just very honored and flattered and thankful that you were able to sponsor this episode today, and we learned a little bit about real estate and about your story and everything. So great to see you, sir.
Appreciate everything, Ernie.
All right, very good. There you have it, another episode of Pickup Lines, presented by Gamez Law Firm and Integrity Roofing and Siding. We'll be back very soon. Actually, later on today, I think. We've got more episodes to get to here very soon. We'll keep it right here for many more amazing stories just like Randy's, and have a fantastic day. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.